Considering that this is the month of love, I thought it would be only fitting to review some of the greatest romantic films of all time. And what better way to start than with Gone with the Wind? Gone with the Wind is widely considered by many as one of the greatest films of all time. Only last year it came in at number 8 on WatchMojo's top 10 films of all time. The film is centered upon a Southern belle, Scarlett O'Hara, a 16-year-old at the start of the film whose only goal in life is to marry wealthy Southerner Ashley Wilkes. However, to her dismay, Ashley says that he loves Scarlett, but says that he is going to marry his cousin Melanie instead. The film also looks at the during, before and after effects of a war, not on the soldiers, but the people left behind. Scarlett is a controversial character. Many people even hate her, saying that she is spoilt, bratty, selfish and manipulative. Which is true. However, for me, Scarlett is a character that falls in between. She is all of those things, but I like her when she is on her own, during the war and after, when she is acting independently, not afraid to get her hands dirty. When she returns to Tara following the Civil War, the place is in disarray. She does anything to keep it, and vows never to go hungry again, something that many people in the audience at the time could relate to. Her methods for survival may be selfish, such as when she marries a man she doesn't love, so that she can keep Tara. But she does come off as a much more strong-willed and interesting character that you can root for. This is what I liked about her. Scarlett is portrayed by Vivien Leigh, who gives a fantastic performance and one of the best performances by an actress of all time. Everyone is great in this film, from Hattie McDaniel, who plays the loyal slave, to Clark Gable, who is also great in this film. He plays the charismatic, handsome character who's the charm to him that makes him come off as a far more likeable character to Scarlett, even if they share similar traits. Rhett Butler loves Scarlett and is willing to wait for her, but this never eventuates until it is too late and all love in his heart is gone. Gone with the Wind also has some of the most spectacular shots ever taken, with gorgeous cinematography. Perhaps my favourite is the shot taken from the sky, showing the wounded soldiers on the ground, showcasing the pure helplessness and pointlessness of the war for the South as it slowly reveals the Confederate flag flapping in the sky. Perhaps the most extravagant of all the scenes is the burning of Atlanta, when the Union soldiers are marching on to Atlanta. The scene is brilliantly put together. David O. Selznick, the film's producer, even put alight the former King Kong set to clear space for the sets in the film. This was what you see in the Atlanta scene. You can even see the King Kong gates if you look close enough. It was the first scene shot, and they only have one chance to get it right, and it was done splendidly. Following the burning of Atlanta, Rhett, Scarlett, Prissy, Melanie, and a newborn baby, who just managed to escape from Atlanta, have made it out. Rhett confesses to Scarlett that he is going to join the army, even though all hope is lost. The flames of Atlanta act as a great backdrop for Rhett and Scarlett in their romantic scenes. Like with the flames of Atlanta, the sunset also acts beautifully for the scenes. When Scarlett climbs up on the hill where the dead crops are and she shouts into the sky that she won't be hungry ever again. The orange sky reflects the hell that she is in. Gone with the Wind also has a fantastic soundtrack. Composed by Max Steiner, it is one of my all-time favourite scores. While not as iconic as Star Wars, Jurassic Park, James Bond or Indiana Jones, it is still a fantastic score. And memorable too. Gone with the Wind, however, is not beyond criticism. The film's depiction of slavery is not the most accurate, romanticizing it and showing slaves perfectly happy with serving to their owners. During the film's opening credits, a crawl states that this was the last ever to be seen of knights and their ladies fair, of master and of slave. Look for it only in books, for it is no more than a dream remembered, a civilization gone with the wind. The crawl reveals that the South is held in high standards, a romantic place, and glosses over the sheer horrific brutality and inhumanity of slavery. Hattie McDaniel was the first black actor to win an Oscar, but her character is a stereotypical sassy black lady. Prissy, however, is a character in the film who is probably the worst example of these stereotypes. At least with the rest of the slaves, Even if they are dutiful and unable to think of their own, they are still likable. Chrissy is not. She is annoying, worthless, dumb, whiny, and her voice is irritating. I am sorry, but this is the way the film portrayed her, showing the belief at the time by many that black people were inferior. The film's credit, however, many racist elements from the book were cut out. This included a scene with the KKK, frequent use of the N-word. You don't hear it once in the film, and when Scarlett is attacked, they change the colour of one of the attackers to white. With the exception of the obvious flaws, Gone with the Wind is for the most part flawless. However, the film is long, and because of this, the film is in 2 parts. I recommend to anyone rewatching it, or especially to a first-time viewer, to look at it as if it was 2 films, as it most certainly would be today. As soon as the intermission comes on, turn it off and watch the rest whenever you have the chance, because it very much improves your viewing experience and the spectacular film that it is, so that it doesn't feel so long. That being said, Gone with the Wind is still amazing. Grand sets and brilliant costumes. Who could forget the curvy dress? And some of the most memorable quotes of all time. Frankly, mighty, I don't give a damn. Gone with the Wind has stood the test of time fantastically and will likely continue to do so. One of the most iconic films of all time, has rightfully earned an A+. Thank you, and if you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe and like for more.